What's up, broods and brudettes? It's the Pico Dudes. I'm Jeremy Hidalgo, and with me today is Sam the Van Damme Rathert.
The Van Damme.
And Kechu, Mr. TapRoom himself, Travino. Yeah, did I pronounce that right?
Perfect.
Awesome.
We are Pico Dudes plus one today.
Plus one.
And this time, a microphone that, fingers crossed, is going to work. And we'll be able to hear you and make out what you're saying.
Let's see.
Yeah. This is our first time with an actual guest that gets his own microphone and doesn't have to stand in the shame corner and shout across the room.
The shame corner.
Yeah.
We've invented that. You know, can I just say something before we start?
Yes.
Did you know that you don't need a flash to photograph a rabbit that already has red eyes?
Oh my gosh.
So every once in a while, because we're doing the Van Damme,
yeah,
I may sneak in a Van Damme quote.
So today we're reviewing Banger Brewing Van Damme.
Oh, total giveaway.
Yeah. And it is going to be rife with references to Jean-Claude Van Damme and his horribly wonderful movies.
No. Van Damme quote. I now truly believe I am incapable of making a bad movie.
I mean, some could agree.
Some. They shouldn't.
No, they definitely shouldn't.
But Banger Brewing, who we know from a few episodes ago, one of our favorite beers the last few months, which was the Black IPA, right?
Absolutely. And that was not only popular with the Pico Dudes, but popular with some folks at work who we shared it with at a
we had
party.
several beers, and that one came out on top. I think you even posted some clips and stuff of a lot of the impressions people had. And we had no idea about Banger Brewing. I mean, they're out on Fremont Street in Vegas. We've walked past it, and I don't think we've been in. So we may have to visit here in another month or so when we head down.
For CES.
CES is coming up. And PicoBrew, I bet, we'll be there again.
Yeah, we'll be there again. We'd love to set up an interview.
Yep.
Man, I should set that up.
We better get on that.
Holy cow. All right.
That actually might work well on a technology podcast, too.
I think that's the whole point behind the technology podcast. So today, Kechu's going to go ahead and pour us some beers while we introduce a little bit or talk a little bit about the type of beer that you brewed, this Van Damme. And you guys can see the wonderful tap room in action.
And this is kind of interesting because when Kechu showed up, I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I brewed in bottles. So we're not going to be able to use the tap room for this. And he's like, no problem. And he brings out these really cool little tap room mini kegs. Look at that beer. That's a really beautiful little pour.
That is pretty nice.
And he brings out these little mini kegs and he says, just pour your bottle in here, which I did. And he screwed this lid down, made a couple connections, and 30 seconds later we were pouring beer.
Yeah, so that way, I mean, if this beer wasn't quite ready to go and you had a little pool off of it and wanted to save it for a few days, or a week or two and let it age a bit more, you don't have to throw away half of your bottle or all of your bottle. You could go ahead and leave it on the tap room and come back to it later and it'd be fully carbonated, ready to go.
Good for that high alcohol beer, like a couple of the recent ones we've tried that you want one of.
Yeah, for sure.
But you don't want to drink a bunch of. It's like that one beer at night with a book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? I still
want to cheat.
I still can't get over your Misery Whip Scotch Ale.
I know.
The best ever. Anyways.
So this is a Belgian Blonde Ale.
Belgian Blonde Ale.
So we know it's Belgian because they named it Van Damme. The muscles from
Brussels.
So we got a Belgian Blonde Ale, which is really just another take on a pale ale here. And it's using a Pilsner malt. But this one is an alcohol of 7.9%, so it's got a decent alcohol to it. I've used a 23, so it should be pretty light on that. And an SRM of 4. This did not get cold crashed. It was also in a bottle that I have been manhandling for the last hour or two, because I was like, oh no, we need something for the podcast. And so I took it out, and I stuck it in the fridge, and I went in the freezer, and then I went back to the fridge, and I had it sideways twice. And so look what I did. When you naturally carbonate, you're going to stir all that up. But it's still not a bad looking beer, nice golden color.
Yeah, looks excellent.
And here's what we're supposed to be getting off of this thing. This is the entirety of the PicoBrew website. So Banger Brewing,
this is like a dim mock to my tongue.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
That's the death touch from the Kumite. Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Yes.
Kumite.
You must break brick on bottom.
So all they say on the PicoBrew website, this is all that Banger did, is they have a little picture like half a glass of this stuff, and it says golden ale with floral fruity aroma.
Yes.
I mean, that's it.
Yes, that's it. That's true.
So come on, guys.
So you don't think that's a good enough description
so
to get you to buy
much
a beer?
more, but what they said is also true.
I mean, I'll take the floral fruity aroma and give them that.
Yeah.
But it was pretty limited, so I had to go look up, hey, what is this golden ale, this Belgian golden ale supposed to be? Belgian Blonde Ale, also referred to that way. Dry, effervescent, and complex with a fruity nose, noble hops, and kick you in the face with high alcohol.
Kickboxer style.
Kickboxers. Yeah, there's another one. Well, we got to go back and get a time cop reference.
This isn't just a kick you in the face, though. This is like a standing...
Never kick.
Yeah, well, or
kick
never,
both of us in the face at the same time from opposite sides.
with the same foot.
Oh.
Say, like, yeah, he...
Level up.
Yeah.
You watch too many of those movies that you're critiquing.
Oh, we watched all those movies. Those were our generation's movies.
And we also watched all of the well, I don't know if you ever finished the series that's on, was it Amazon Prime?
Oh,
the Jean-Claude Van
yes.
Johnson.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson, which
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a premise of a man who is a movie star and is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, it's actually Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's basically Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he's actually a secret agent.
And his secret agent name? Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I mean, it's really deep.
Yes.
Very funny, though.
He does a good job of poking fun at himself.
At himself.
And his movies and the fact that he hasn't really aged super well.
Oh, no, he says, I have the body of a 30-year-old and the face of a 50-year-old. I mean, that's one of his quotes.
And that was 10 years ago.
That was years ago when he said that. He also said, I do not mind nudity from behind, but I cannot show it from the front. I don't want to lose all my fans. That is another literal Van Damme quote.
I like the cookie one.
Oh my goodness. We'll say a cookie. A cookie has no soul, but a cookie is made with milk and eggs have the ability to provide life.
I cannot believe he remember that. He read it once.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes ago. And he cracked up on it.
Sure I messed up
yeah, he
somehow.
has it up. No, I think you have it.
So we have a beer here. Variation on this pale ale, and you know, this isn't a style you find a lot, but if you've ever seen Duvel, Duvel at your grocery store, that is the most famous, I mean by far the most famous example of this beer. Oddly enough, boy, we got a friend floating around. Oddly enough, we're doing video today,
Yeah.
and I'm just imagining the people watching me kind of swing my arms around and close my hands going, what? But they like have it on mute.
What Van Damme movie was that in?
Yes, this is how he learned to fight karate.
It's in
kid style.
Bloodsport when he had the blindfold on.
Yes, it's after he got the dust thrown in his eyes.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a lot of people have used synonyms because Duvel means devil. And they've got Satan, Lucifer. There's a lot of beers that are this style that have that kind of name. But it's a sneak up on you kind of beer because it tastes to me somewhat sweet.
Fairly easy drinking.
Fairly easy drinking until you realize it's 8% plus.
It's similar to, it's the same type of beer as, say, like the Belgian triple we did from Monk's Uncle. If I'm tasting it, they have very similar flavor profiles.
They really do.
I think the difference is Monk's Uncle has more alcohol and is definitely like, it's a little bit more prominent, so you're much more aware of the level of alcohol that you're drinking.
Yes.
This one is more like if you start drinking, say, a Riesling wine and it sneaks up on you because you're drinking it while you're barbecuing and it's hot outside and you go through half a bottle before you know it. I think it's even a little bit more well-rounded than the Monk's Uncle. It's got a little bit more malty flavor, sort of on the back end of the tasting.
I like this better than the Monk's Uncle.
Yeah.
Just sneak preview.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, Kechu, what are you picking up when you smell this? You have probably more experience with these beers than we do. What are you getting on the nose there? And you're gonna have to.
I wouldn't compare too much to the Duvel.
Right up on the mic there.
I wouldn't compare too much to Duvel. This one is not as actually strong as the Duvel. That Duvel, you really taste a lot more the alcohol in the Duvel.
Yeah.
Duvel is a bit more effervescent. This one is not that much. But this one, what you get a lot is, those fruity notes. the yeast that they use on Belgian ales, I think, is pretty prominent. You have a little bit of clove, slight coriander, slight banana, I would say also too there. Yep. So yeah, those notes from the yeast really come out through. And being a high-ish alcohol beer, you kind of don't see that because of those notes and those flavors. So yeah, this one can sneak up on you.
Yeah, it's a great beer. Mask it well, right?
Tell me about this. So I'm drinking this out of, you brought some glasses for us. It says pint on the back. I did not think it was a pint when I was looking at it, but it says it, so it's got to be true.
No, it's not a pint. It's a miniaturized pint.
Okay.
I've been in the search. I've been in the search for a nice glass that will fit the tap room. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the tap room is size challenged.
It's got short legs.
Exactly.
It's just got short legs.
Exactly. So
which makes sometimes getting your glass all the way to the top a little.
Exactly. So I'm trying always to find a nice glass that will fit on the bottom of the tap room.
I just put a couple books under it.
Well, the thing is that I want to keep it in my fridge with my family, so I have the...
Which is why it's in the size profile.
Exactly.
Right. You don't have to like rearrange the shelving in your fridge so that like you can fit a whole 2-liter bottle under there just because, you know.
So yeah, my wife gave me the size there of a gallon of milk and change, and that's where I have to stay.
You know, you could make a little plastic stand for it.
I could make it, but it will already be... the limit of what I'm allowed.
Gotcha.
So
I just meant a removable one that it just sits on when you take it out of the fridge.
The other variable that I could play with was the glass.
Absolutely.
And so these ones I found actually in Crate and Barrel.
And they had your logo on them?
No, that's me. And this one I got it in IKEA, and I like it more. This one is kind of like a...
It's like a whiskey.
Kind of like a teku glass. Have you guys seen the teku glass?
No, I haven't.
The teku glass is supposed to be like the best glass for tasting beer. The only difference that we'll have here is it's slightly tapered to the outside, it's flared on the top, and it has a stem. But it's very similar, and it's nice to really get your nose in there.
I mean, stems are overrated, and so are flares, right? So I know there's a science behind like the shape of a glass, how it's supposed to funnel the aromas to your nose and all that kind of stuff, but you know what? I'm pretty sure I can stick my nose in a glass no matter what the shape of it is.
Good enough of a beer, you can stick it in.
Make sure I really pronounce
I've got a champagne glass I want to challenge you with. Well, yeah, thanks. Really pronounce that goal. Goal when you say that.
Yes. Champagne glass, it's on. Bring it
on. You didn't get your nose
like Conky Dome.
Wait, and your mouth at the same time.
No, but I didn't say that.
Oh, I know, but
nose.
When you're taking that drink, to be able to open your nose and breathe
But this one works really well for that.
It works great for that.
Yeah. You can get...
So I don't know if this is because I haven't eaten anything for 2 days. I'm really... insider tip, I had a physical today, so I had to go on a fast and all that, and I just haven't had a chance to eat anything since then, so I'm sure this is going to get me messed up fast. But what I feel like I'm drinking is I feel almost like I'm drinking a Blue Moon or Belgian whitish beer with way more flavor to it.
Yeah, it has those notes. Yes, I would agree completely with that. It has those notes.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem as light as one of those. It just seems like it's got a bit more everything to it. My real disappointment, and this is on me because I popped another bottle of this a couple days ago. I did not semi-carbonate well, and I'm not sure what I did.
I can tell you what you didn't do.
My sugar dividing method is not...
You didn't force carbonate it using a TapRoom.
I did not. I should have.
Lesson learned.
A lesson learned. So we don't have a nice persistent head on it yet, and it doesn't seem to maintain as much of the effervescence as I would like it to, but I think that's on me as a brewer. And you brought me some tabs. I think I might try some of the bottling tabs instead of my... I don't know, my sugar method worked so good for so long, and I've had 2 batches now where that or I'm just forgetting to put the sugar in because I've been drinking.
You know, it could be either one of those.
It seems like there's something in it, though. It doesn't...
Yeah.
And it has a beautiful mouthfeel, so I'm sure that if you crank up the carbonation just a tad, you would have a very nice head and a very nice...
with the TapRoom, I could have actually just put it on an hour or 2 earlier and let it...
Get the beer nice and cold.
Exactly, get the beer nice and cold and let it just force carbonate a little bit to get that little extra in it that I'd want.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
That would have been thinking right, huh, Sam?
Well, it's not, I mean... keep in mind this is a podcast we do in our spare time. Oftentimes we're rushing from work to to get everything set up, and so our production value, I think, provides proof of what level of effort we're able to put into it right now. I think that should change coming into 2019 once we get through the holidays, but back to the beer. This is a wonderful beer. I mean, I think this is one that is suitable for late winter, spring,
summer,
even
fall.
right now. Like it's a really good beer for the time. It's raining outside. It was sort of stormy this morning.
I don't know why, but I want mozzarella sticks so bad right now.
And. Yeah, mozzarella. Well, that's because you haven't eaten for 2 days.
That probably is part of it, but this is really good. Like,
it is really good.
I find people all the time going on the PicoBrew website, and they're trying to find something in that Belgian white style, and there's not a lot of choices at all in PicoBrew. I mean, they got Tweeties, which is a wheat beer, but it's an American wheat.
Yeah. It's completely different than this.
There's one Belgian white from Harlem, or it's actually not a Belgian white. It's a wit beer.
It's a wit beer, yeah.
It's a wit beer, but it's a somewhat similar character. This, again, similar to the triple in some of the fruity and all that, but without the sour bite that I think we were getting.
Yeah, or that major...
That is actually a really good point. It has all of those notes without that sour at the end.
That sour bite and finish that I especially in the bottled version, but even a bit in the PicoBrew version that we were getting.
Yeah, I mean, and it really is comparing right along those same lines with the Monk's Uncle, but a little bit more well-rounded, a little smoother, not so alcohol forward. And I think for a great, like if this is the first time you're going to brew a Pico pack of this style, this is probably the best one to go with.
Yep.
Of the ones we've tried, and as you just outlined, we haven't tried any other. There's not a lot available, so.
I tried the Sunderlich a couple of months ago. Starts with a Z, Sunderlich.
Okay.
It's actually a Belgian brewer that took out this Pico pack, and it's very similar to this.
Very similar? Okay.
Very, very, very similar. I brewed it with my neighbor, and he lately has gotten nuts about Belgian beers.
Oh, sure.
Oh, good.
So yeah, we brewed it. We also split the batch. So we did 2 mini kegs, 4 carved them, and then we did a naturally carbonating 1 liter bottle. And so we're able to enjoy it, and then we enjoyed it again a month later, naturally carbonated, and that was really cool. That was really interesting to have both styles, and to be able to keep 1 liter just for a little bit later.
So did you notice much difference between the two methods?
Not much. I don't know, call me biased, but I don't like when I pour it from the tap room. I think the just the foam quality of it is a little bit more of a microfoam, and it just it's
when you pour it from the tap room, you prefer that.
You like the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I like the mouthfeel of coming out of the tap. Yeah. But I still do that a lot. I did it lately with a Doppelbock. Especially when they're big beers.
Was that the Automator Double Bock?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. That was one of the first Pico packs I ever brewed. What did you think of that one?
I haven't tasted still the bottle.
Oh.
So I did that, and then I did also another barley wine. And I also split that batch. And so in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be opening those bottles and see how they come up.
Oh, but have you tried them? You said you split the batches?
Yes.
Have you tried them out of the tap room yet?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I like the another barley wine a lot.
Yeah. Talk about a beer that sneaks up on.
Yes.
That's a strong beer right there.
We had so much fun recording that episode.
That one was really good.
Somebody commented, like, how drunk were you guys?
It doesn't register.
Yeah. And you were pouring on 1 pint glasses.
I mean,
I think I actually commented
on
that.
You did. Like, you actually called me.
You need smaller glasses.
You called me to tell me,
out those,
hey,
those
there's this
beers.
thing called an English pint. I'll send you the link.
Exactly. I actually told you that. I'll send you the link. Just buy them. Crate and Barrel. $3 each.
Awesome.
We'll go get the double bock. I don't know if I messed up something.
Double bock guy, though.
It didn't come out good. It had good aromas. It had a good it was okay, but it really, it left a lot to be desired for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've I'm curious. I think you're asking the same thing. Is we've had a couple of beers, and because I bottle a lot, we've had a couple that we've tried and been like, oh, well, that was different. And then for some reason, I come back 2-3 months later and I pop another one. And I'm like, I gotta. Usually it's because I'm running out of bottles.
Right.
I'm like, I gotta empty a bottle, and so I'll pop it. I'm like, I'm just pour it in the sink because I remember not liking this, and I'll pour a little glass off just to try it, and I'll be like, well, that's way better than I remember. Yeah. Some of them just seem like maybe they need some time.
Yeah.
And
the Berliner Blue was a prime
that's
example.
a great example of that one.
Like, so I don't know if you listened to the episode, Kechu, or anybody who's listening, but it was
burn
a
victim Band-Aid.
Yeah, like the first time we tried it, it was like licking Deadpool's face, right?
Yeah.
It was just horrible. We weren't excited about it, and then we came back to it to do a review, kind of because that's what we do.
We feel we have to. Hey, let's.
And it was better. And
it was better. Now, what everyone heard was it's better. We actually kind of like it now.
Yeah.
It's reasonable. And then
we went and took it to the holiday party after we had recorded the review, and
it's actually been in a serving keg.
Been in a serving keg.
And we had
aged
it on
another
the
week
tap
or so.
room.
Yep, on the tap room, and we were kind of like, that's the beer we drank the most of that day. So we had Berliner Blue, we had the black IPA from Banger Brewing, which we felt obligated to let everybody else drink, and so did they. Like, they felt like they should drink that beer because they really enjoyed it.
It was really good.
We had the Gorgeous Ale.
Gorgeous Ale, which I had forgot to mention, and I don't think I even told you. That beer exploded during fermentation. Like, my wife called me at work. My daughter was playing around wrestling with my son, and they knocked over my brew bag, and it fell on its side, and it busted out the 2 seals, and was just shooting beer everywhere. Now, luckily, it was in the brew bag, but it lost almost a quarter of the beer.
Oh, I was going to say, did you scoop it all back
no,
up and put it in
almost
there?
a quarter of the beer. So she called.
She was probably infected.
She goes, what do I do? And I said, just put it back up right, put everything back together, leave it, and I'll try. I forgot that completely, and that might have been why it wasn't nearly as good or strong as we remember it in the flavors. But we had that one, and then the last one was Monk's Uncle.
Monk's Uncle.
And we had those 4, and oddly enough, that Berliner Blue, people either loved it. Yeah, can we please have some more?
Pour some more.
It's so yummy.
Yeah, but the Berliner Blue, like,
people loved it or hated it, but the people who loved it. Like, it would jump to their number 1 or 2 immediately.
Well, and it was just so unique. Like, I had, so just the other night, I had a little glass of the Ardbeg whiskey.
Yeah.
And
it's
like right on. What did we just have?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sam.
Am I out?
Yes, you're out.
I'm out?
Wait a minute. How big are these glasses?
I told you they are 0.3
I'll take one for the
liter.
team.
Here, how about you take half for the team?
Okay, I'll take half for the team.
I think we're all leaving now.
Yeah,
Look at that.
You got, yeah, there we go.
Well, we better get some last notes then on this beer. We're talking about all the other ones.
I'm really
everything
enjoying
else
these
under
beers.
this.
These are really nice beer.
Yeah, this is great. I really wish we froze
froze more of it.
Yeah, I wish we got more of it.
Flash froze more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good news is I have several more bottles, or 3 or 4 more bottles. You know my feelings on it. I'm already a Belgian fan. Yes, I keep saying I like German beers. I understand Germany and Belgium are different countries, folks, but they do bump fronts.
Yeah.
So they're pretty dang close, and you see a lot of characteristics carry back and forth across them. But I love Belgian beers first and foremost. This to me, I'm buying this.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying this. I'm drinking it. I wish the carbonation was slightly different. Outside of that, I love the nose. I love the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So
this one doesn't even bother me that the carbonation's where it's at, because I think that sometimes the carbonation, if it's over carbonated, sort of takes
overpowers
away
the
from.
taste.
Yeah. Like, so we've noticed that in some of the different
finish.
beers, like even Monk's Uncle, when we compared our version on the PicoBrew to the commercial version, it was so much sharper tasting when it had the CO2.
And bitey.
Yeah, just bitey, and it's a little off-putting, to be quite honest. And I think part of that can be attributed to the fact that we get a little bit of finer bubbles out of the tap room, but also, like, there's a little bit more freshness there. You can get a lot more well-rounded beer from doing the homebrew. And where are you at on your rating for this, Sam? We're gonna just go right down the line.
I always have to go last. I brewed it.
No, you get to go. You get to go first.
Okay, I'll say I'm probably I'm on an edge. I'm right between 3.5 and 3.75. I'm
Well,
on
I thought you'd be a little bit higher.
No, I'm going to go 3.75. It's really good. Now, keep in mind, my go-to beer for a couple of years was Blue Moon. I did not like hoppy beers. I did not like IPAs. Now I'm learning. Oh my gosh, I have found some IPAs I love, and I'm getting more and more open as I try different styles. But that was my go-to beer. And now when I go back to it, it's, well, this is good.
Yeah.
But it's very familiar. It's very, well, here's another Blue Moon.
Sort of uninteresting.
It's easy drinking. Now, if I'm going to go just have some cheese sticks, mozzarella sticks, a burger, I'll probably order this beer because I don't want something that I want to just concentrate on the beer. I want something that's going to go well with my food.
Yeah.
And be easy drinking. I would love this for that. That's a 3.75 for me.
Okay.
It's a good beer. Remember, anything over a 3.5, I order again.
Yeah.
Once it gets up in that 3.75 and above, I will order this again. I will brew it again. But compared to some of the beers I've absolutely loved, it's not quite there.
Yeah. All right.
That's my thought. Where are you at, Kechu? You're looking at me like I'm the Duvel.
No, I'm at a 4 with this.
Okay.
I think it's a really solid beer. I agree with Jeremy that even though it doesn't have the carbonation of a Belgian ale, and keep in mind that a Belgian ale is a very effervescent beer, it is constantly bubbling in your glass, even to the last sip. And so this one, even though it's lacking that, I really like the roundness of it. Has those notes from these different yeasts, different fermentations from the Belgian ales that I really enjoy. So yeah, definitely a solid 4. Would have loved to see it with a little bit more CO2.
Yes.
But definitely a solid 4. I think I'll give it a try myself. Yeah.
That's the sign that you've got a good beer. Is when people say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to order this and brew it." I will brew it again. I'll say that right now. You guys are starting to talk me up. This is in 2 days. Leave me alone.
Yeah, this is an excellent beer. It's an excellent effort. I think spot on with your brewing, which we didn't really talk too much about. I know you didn't change the recipe at all.
It was super typical. Keep in mind, I've gone to the brew bag, changed nothing about the recipe. So I've got a pattern now.
Yeah. Press start and leave.
Press start, leave. I take it out. I don't flash freeze it in the sink. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
But now I just stick it on the garage floor, let it sit overnight, come back, pitch the yeast the next day. 2 weeks fermenting, and then 2 weeks in the bottle. That's usually my system. So it's 4 weeks to before I drink it. You can go a lot faster if you have a system that can force carbonate. You can really be 2 weeks of fermentation and then just cold crash and serve, right? Do you cold crash your beer? Kechu?
Depends.
Okay, so it's not just me that's impatient.
That much at all.
I
really don't mind that much at all.
I've actually had some that's almost worse. It almost drops out some of the good stuff that I enjoy. I like a hazy.
If I'm close to the weekend, I'm not cold crashing at all.
Yeah. All right, good.
I'm just putting it in the keg and putting it to force carb.
Is it more about appearance than flavor on the cold crash? Because I've found that cold crashing doesn't necessarily help the taste of the beer at all.
I think there's mixed responses
on
to that. Yeah,
okay.
I think
it might be style of beer too.
I would say
if it's a pilsner or something, I might cold crash it to clean it up.
I would say it definitely affects the flavor. The more you drop the yeast and the additional proteins out, like that's going to change the flavor a bit. And with that comes the clarity and the appearance factor. But as we've talked about before, sometimes almost to the detriment of the beer. Yeah. You know, when we've looked at a commercial version of, a Dragon's Tooth Stout or a Monk's Uncle or whatever,
Dead Guy Ale.
Sometimes you try them back to back and you recognize that they still have the same earmarks of taste and flavor that are excellent.
Yep.
But when you add that extra dimension of a little bit more malty flavor, because there's still a little bit of that grain that's in suspension or whatever, it's like taking things to another level. And some might argue that it's taking things back down to a different level, like you're more amateur if you do that or whatever. But here's the thing is, we all have different tastes, we all think differently, and I happen to like the malty flavors, and I think that a well-rounded, balanced beer is way better than a one-dimensional beer that's just...
Don't let anybody beer shame you, man.
Yeah.
Never. If someone comes and says, "Oh, you like that?" That guy's an asshole. I just want to be clear. Don't let anyone beer shame you.
And don't let anyone tempt you into trying that Goza from Anderson Valley.
Give me the Yink and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, we were total assholes on that. But still, it's just...
Sour beers are not our thing. Let's just admit that. But I gotta say, don't let anyone beer shame you. If you like a certain beer, if you like a certain, Don't be ashamed. We had this rainy
You're
beer.
trying more sour beers. They're actually really good.
We might have to. So our palates are changing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that.
Just.
Do you have a go-to sour?
Just 2 weeks ago, I went over to Los Bears Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Goon, somewhere in Woodinville. You have to.
Really?
A bear actually got lost there, so that's why it's called Los Bears.
Oh, right
It's
on.
really in the middle of nowhere, but it's a very nice.
Lost.
It's a very nice brewery. This guy's brewing on his garage, and he brewed a sour, blueberry sour. Truly fantastic, very champagne-like. I shared it with my wife. I just had a crowler. Fantastic. So
I think a fruity
give them
sour I'd be okay
you should
at.
actually give them more of a try. I think
Okay.
you're just looking
We're
at
doing
one
it.
example, one specimen, and then you're just throwing the whole style
we
out the
did.
window.
You know, I'm down with it. I would even be
Very good.
willing to do a series on it. I think the challenge that I have typically is because it's usually like you add the lactic acid or whatever.
It's
So that
I think
can
we
be
dated
good.
one redhead and said all redheads are crazy. Is that what we just did?
maybe.
Well, so potentially, but then we like
But
the
also
milk
true.
stouts, right? So if you look at a milk stout, like milk pistachio
Oh
or
my god, I
something,
love the milk
it's
stout.
got some
lactose
of this,
in it.
It's got lactose in it, right? I mean, it's still something that it really adds something to the dark beer. Maybe
Sure
we can
does.
figure out a way to get a
Okay,
lighter.
so we're
beer.
gonna try some more sour.
Give it a shot.
I like lambics, and sour doesn't sound like it's a big step there.
If you like lambics,
Yeah.
they're just right at the
But
end.
they're very fruit forward before they're sour,
As
and
long
that
as
was
there's not
this was
that
a
stomach
sour
bile
beer, not a
taste in
sour
it, yeah.
fruit. So okay, I'm gonna search. Do you know of any sours on PicoBrew?
No. I think it's gonna be more about the fermentation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, well I might have to look at how we do that because I think we might need to try it. If we gotta go buy it, we'll buy it.
Yeah, we can work
We
that
gotta
out.
man up and
20
face your
Corners.
fears.
20 Corners had a really good one during the
we
summer.
like 20 corners.
20 Corners had a really good one during the summer. I don't
I
remember
really
the
want to
name. It was
still get
really
there.
good.
I haven't made it there. I've heard how great it is from you.
Just-
I drive by it all the time.
Don't
like when we go
brewery
to
shame
gymnastics.
either.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm sad that I haven't got there. Now I need to get out to Misery Whip.
Oh my goodness, yes. Where's Misery Whip?
It's like right around here.
That's what I can't. Dude, I have had a mini pint of high alcohol beer.
And a corner, and you turned Irish. I've had the mini points.
I've had the mini pint and it was most fantastic. I can't barely see right now. I haven't eaten in 2 days.
So on that note, I'm gonna give this 4 stars.
You're gonna give it 4 also.
I
All right,
wanted
right
to go
on.
lower than you. I was like, dude, I'm a dark beer guy. Sam loves the style of beer. He's
I do
gonna
love
be
the
like
style.
so much higher rating than I am. And you were talking like I thought there was gonna be 4.25, 4.5 coming out of your mouth, and you come out with a 3.75, and I'm like, I'm gonna even 4. I like this beer. I
good.
enjoy it. I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna recommend it to friends.
Buy it, try it.
I think you did.
Banger has done good
wonderful.
for us twice now. So
So they've got excellent stuff.
you know what? You guys suck at marketing, but this is a really good beer. Your other one was an even better beer.
I don't know. I mean, they could have put something like Fag and Balla on their website. So that's a reference to a previous episode. But anyways, we're going to have to visit Banger Brewing while we're down there in January.
We are. We got to find a way to swing on by.
Yeah, maybe even do an interview with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, in our 4 days. Good luck.
And on that note,
Oh, Pico dudes.
you want to join us?
Out.
Fagambolic. I can't believe you brought back the fagambolic.
Oh, hell yes.
Fuck. Brew a sour. I wrote it down with big letters. So
I don't think